In this tabletop review and installation video, we're going to take a look at a product for the AR-15 pistol. That would be specifically the Shockwave AR-15 pistol buffer tube, which is designed to match with the Shockwave Technologies Blade pistol stabilizer brace. There are numerous different AR-15 pistol brace options on the market. This is one that I have not used before, so this is the first time that I've picked up one of these. There's several reasons why I'm trying this one out. One, the pistol buffer tube for this as well as the brace are very affordably priced. Two, solid material construction. Some of the other products on the market are flimsy rubber, and that can cause all sorts of different usability issues. In my opinion, having a firm brace like this is a very good idea. Also, some of the other stabilizing braces have a tendency, when you install them on the pistol buffer tube, they'll move back and forth on their own. So if you pull it out, it'll move on its own or it'll twist. That's really been a problem that I've run into on many different AR-15 pistols. Now, there are some solutions out on the marketplace that allow you to kind of affix the stock so it doesn't twist and move forward and backwards. This is one of those types of solutions. This particular Shockwave Blade pistol brace, stabilizer brace, slides on to this buffer tube, and there's a screw that you can tighten down, which you can see there's all these notches here. The screw will reside in this notch, and it will prevent the Shockwave blade from moving back and forth and or turning. Now, Shockwave advertises this particular product that it will fit all pistols equipped with a standard AR-15 pistol buffer tube up to 1.5 inches in diameter. They specifically state no special receiver extension is needed. You slip it on and tighten the large set screw for a rock solid installation. So we'll take a look at that. I don't have a regular pistol buffer tube to test that on, but I do have the specific Shockwave pistol buffer tube, which I think this is a better idea to use something like this than a standard pistol buffer tube, because of these detents, the screw will actually recess into these detents. On a standard pistol buffer tube, there's nothing for the screw to recess into, so it's going to tighten against this metal, and if you were to twist on this enough, it's still going to probably move. So this idea, very good design. So let me go ahead and open this up. You can see this packaging is hermetically sealed, and I have not opened this yet. So let me open this up and we'll take a look at it. Okay, inside of our packaging, we've got our pistol brace, which is a nice hard solid plastic. There are slots cut into this, which you could attach Velcro or a sling or some other mechanism that would allow you to better attach this to your arm for stabilization. This is the set screw. The set screw goes in through this metal insert, which is good. So the screw is not threading into plastic, it's threading into metal. And you can see the orientation of this particular bolt. You can see the pointed end of it. Definitely appropriate for fitting to the specialized buffer tube. This, from what I can see, looking at so far, very good construction. The plastic, it's not flexible at all. It's very rigid. The rear end is open on it. There's some etchings here, made in USA, patent pending, Shockwave Technologies, Blade pistol stabilizer, and so on. And that's pretty much it. You've got, this rounded area up here. which could be used as a cheek weld if you were to hold this up against your cheek for stabilization also. And a bunch of plastic shavings all over the place. It does not include a wrench for this particular bolt. You will have to supply your own, I believe it's a 5/32 wrench to tighten it down. And of course, tightening this down on the buffer tube, you want to be careful. You don't want to put a lot of torque on this bolt for several reasons. First, if you're using this buffer tube, I do believe this buffer tube is a 6061 aluminum, so this is not, you could damage this if you tighten it too much, and that may be the case with a lot of pistol tubes on the market. The 7000 series aluminum tubes are a little bit more durable. But the piece of paper that was in the packaging basically is a ATF letter that basically states that this does not make a rifle out of a pistol, and thus putting you in a situation where you illegally manufactured an SBR, that this is a pistol brace. Also on Shockwave's website, there's more information that if you were to shoulder this by accident or in a situation that required shouldering, it would not reclassify your AR-15 pistol as an SBR. So you could visit Shockwave's website. I'll put the link to that information in the description of the video. Now that's information that somebody from Shockwave received from an ATF person when they contacted them. I do believe a determination letter is in the works for that. That's not available yet. So right now we have this determination letter. And on the inside are installation instructions about how to install it. And of course they do mention also do not torque the bolt down too much. There's a phone number and email address on here as well. We won't go into that. So far what I've seen here, I like everything that I've seen so far. I wish this buffer tube was available in the 7000 series aluminum, 7075. That's the mil-spec standard for buffer tubes. Not that there's really anything wrong with the 6000 series aluminum, but you know, if you could bust somebody's door in with the butt of your rifle, you probably would not want to use a buffer tube made out of this material. Not many of us are going to do that anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant. So since we've talked about this and looked at it, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just tentatively install this on a lower receiver so you can kind of see how it fits. I don't actually have an AR-15 pistol built yet. I am going to build one, and I am going to use this on a pistol build. But for now, let's just test fit everything and see how it looks and see how it fits. All right, I have a AR-15 pistol lower receiver here, which is a virgin lower that has not been built out before. We're just going to use this for test fitting. If you elect to purchase the Shockwave's buffer tube, this particular buffer tube does not ship with a latch plate or a castle nut, so you'll have to provide your own. I happen to have some here. I also have a Magpul ASAP plate that I'm going to use for this test fitting. The threads on this buffer tube are just as I would expect, more or less perfect. And the notch in the bottom of the buffer tube is fine as well, so the ASAP plate fits. And we're just gonna thread this on. There's no grease on this, so there's a little bit of a grinding sound. Normally I'd apply some aeroshell grease on this before we do this, but this is just temporary. Fit is good, color is good. This is a nice matte black, matches the lower receiver. You know, some buffer tubes The color varies on a lot of buffer tubes, and I like, I like the buffer tube to be black to match the lower and the upper. Some are more of a dark gray, but this one is a nice black, so that's real nice. Our next step in this would be to slide our pistol stabilizer brace on, and it definitely fits nice and tight to this buffer tube. You would obviously, before you put the screw in, you'd want to determine the length of pull that you need for bracing this against your arm. Like, for me, that's probably too far out. Maybe more right about there, I'm guessing, would probably work better. So something like that. And if you can either align this, you can see there's like one little notch still showing right there, which I do believe is a line. I can see in through the hole, I can see the little notch. You probably can't see that. Once you get it aligned, you use a flashlight if you need to. Shine a flashlight in there. Make sure the little dimple is right above the hole. You take your bolt and thread it in here. And I do believe I read something on Shockwave's website about a permanently attached brace. Some people consider this bolt a permanently attached brace. That's not the case. For this to be permanently attached, you would have to use red Loctite, which is a permanent thread locker, and or actually drill out the inside of this bolt, so you could no longer put a wrench in there and remove this bolt. That would be a permanent attachment. This is not permanent. This is a temporary attachment. So that's pretty much all there is to installing the Shockwave brace on their proprietary buffer tube. Of course, if you're building out an AR-15 pistol, this is a pretty easy procedure. If you're taking apart an existing AR-15 pistol, you may want to consider if you want to use your existing AR-15 buffer tube versus buying their proprietary buffer tube. That'd be up to you, but for this particular design, I would go with their buffer tube with the little notches on the bottom. So now this isn't really tight right here, so it's moving around a little bit because I don't have this torqued down, but the stabilizing brace is on there pretty solid. Of course, I don't have it tightened down all the way either. It's actually loose, and we tighten it down a little bit more. There. With it tightened down, it does not move at all. It will not move forward, and it will not twist. So actually looking forward to using this on this pistol build. I like the look of it, and I like the fact that it's a solid plastic design. And then, of course, it does not come with any of the Velcro pieces to wrap around your forearm. I never use the Velcro pieces with the SB Tactical or the SIG braces. You can if you are so inclined, but the fact that this will rest up against my arm as a stabilizing brace, I don't really need the Velcro to hold it in place. So that's pretty much it for this tabletop review of the Shockwave Blade stabilizing brace. Some last bit of information: the brace is made in the USA. It is made by a veteran owned and designed company, and weighs 5 ounces. The colors are black and flat dark earth. And for the buffer tube, there are 12 length adjustment settings on the buffer tube. Those little indents on the buffer tube, there's 12 of those. It's listed as having an anti-rotation and anti-thrust design. The tube is flush with the rear of the Shockwave blade when fully collapsed. I guess we can test that out by loosening this up and fully collapsing it. So if you're carrying your pistol in a compact case, you can fully collapse it, and the end of the buffer tube isn't going to stick out right here, so that goes flush. Also fully flush. It looks like there's ample clearance for a low profile QD sling. If you were running a sling plate like this is the Magpul ASAP, so there definitely appears to be enough clearance right there. The weight of the buffer tube is 4.8 ounces. Accepts all carbine buffer systems, so whatever carbine buffer spring and buffer you decide to use, carbine weight or an H1, H2, whatever would work fine. 4.8 ounces, 7.25 total length. The retail price on the buffer tube is $20. The retail price on the Shockwave Blade is $42.95. So stay tuned for upcoming AR-15 pistol build featuring everything you see right here. Coming soon.